It is time to get my whole fucking life together. My personal favorite time of the year is the end of the year slash start of the new year, and this one is no different. It's delivering all of the things that I love. The feeling of opportunity, the feeling of freshness, the feeling of momentum and vitality, all of the good stuff that I love and adore a new year for. And so today I'm gonna go work in a coffee shop, but before that I have to pick up something that is really gonna be foundational to kickstarting my own personal year off with more creativity than ever before. I'm declaring 2025 as my most creative year ever, and I need to go get something that's gonna allow me to start it off right. So let's go. We did it. We have acquired the goods. 2025 is officially the year that Creatrix Book Club is happening. And I figured what better book to start it off with than Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I had this book and literally for the last few days I'm like, where is this book? It's not on my bookshelf. It's missing in action. I've read this book many times and I'm pretty sure I had it and left it somewhere around the world on one of my travels when my suitcase got too heavy. So a fresh copy of it, and I'm very excited to read this and highlight it and scribble in it, discuss it with my creatrixes. So if you want to join the book club, get in the coven and also get your copy of Big Magic. The way I just completely forgot I was vlogging and recording yesterday and just, you know, carried on living my life. It is actually a key goal of mine for 2025 to do weekly vlogs, because I feel like I kind of started experimenting with that last year and then fell off with doing that. And to be honest, it's the same with everything, right? Like, it is so much about just building the habit of it. And for me, like, vlogging, filming my life is so far from a habit for me right now that I very easily forgot I'm doing this thing and only just remembered this morning and was like, oh, I'm meant to be filming my life, vlogging on my shit. But that's fun, because if you get off your shit, you know what you can do next? Get back on your shit. So what I was talking about and what I went for yesterday is Big Magic. This is what we're doing in Creatrix Book Club for January 2025. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it. I'm really excited to read it, and I'm really excited to prioritize reading. At the same time as reading this, look, all seriousness, I'm also reading Eat, Pray, Love as well. I'm in Elizabeth Gilbert's well because it was on my shelf. I haven't read it in a minute. It's honestly a great book and brings the transformation vibes, you know, brings the energy. Vivian's waiting for a walk. We're gonna go for a walk and we'll see you soon. Bye. Where the fuck did I put my sunglasses? Oh, right there. The way I lose my sunglasses 19 times a fucking day. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Where's my phone? Where's my fucking phone? Where's my phone? Do you know that scene in This Is the End where Michael Cera's looking for his phone and he's accusing everybody else of stealing it and then it's in his own pocket? My own family says that's me. So I can't decide if I want to listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger's new book or what I'm probably going to listen to is Dochi. Because come on, I've just got back from printing out. Am I blurry? Just got back from Office Works and I got a new book for my morning pages, because let me give you a morning pages hot tip here. The cheaper and the more like, the less you give a shit about what this book is, the easier it's gonna be to write your morning pages, because you're not gonna be worrying about like, am I wasting this page? It's just, it's paper for the sake of paper. Thank you, trees, but it's paper for the sake of paper. The whole point is to write. The whole point is to process, and it doesn't have to look good. It just has to be written. And I also printed out my some Okay, I was making for my vision board slash mood board, and of course I had to get cheeky Guzzy's veggie burrito bowl with guacamole, swap the cheese for the vegan chimi mayo, Mexican fries on the side, which I ate in the car, and the rest will be for Vivian, and the ginger beer. If you know what's up, you know what is up. It's time for this, it's time for this, and I don't know what else it's time for. Something that I'm realizing is I do well when I give myself some structure. And so when I have days where I'm mostly just working from home, this is why I find it so helpful to start my day off with. This morning I went to Plies, and then I did 45 minutes on the Stairmaster, and then even like popping out for lunch, because I realize every afternoon when I'm pushing my lunch back and I'm like, why am I getting grumpy? Why do I feel exhausted? And then I remember it's because I haven't actually eaten yet. And I think it's really helpful for me to bookmark my days with movement. So I usually go to the gym in the morning, and then soon me and Vivian, we're gonna go for a walk, and that's it. I'm gonna eat my burrito bowl and do some work. I went to Pilates this morning and did my 25 minutes on the Stairmaster afterwards. And honestly, like, let me tell you something, right? If you have been feeling low energy, or if you're like in this cycle of feeling like you just don't have energy, feeling blah, feeling exhausted, sweat, get yourself to sweat. Literally, the more you do, the more energy you have. And I know that sounds absolutely like it doesn't make any fucking sense, but trust me when I tell you, when you move your body, when you sweat, when you get the energy going, your body's like, okay, this bitch is going to require energy, so let's get the brain working. I literally feel like my brain has been in swamp mode, and I also feel like I can make excuses to have my brain in swamp mode, and I also feel like sometimes you're just fucking tired, you know? Sometimes there isn't a remedy and you actually just want to sleep because your body needs it. Time and place, only you know what your situation is. But what I'm trying to say, what my point is here, I am doing, or at least my aim, my goal, one of my goals is to do 45 minutes. This camera angle is just pissing me off. This isn't better because now I have to stand here and this is just weird and it's blurry. Oh my God, how do you vlog? What was I even fucking saying? One of my goals for this year, or to start this year, is to do 45 minutes on the Stairmaster every day, because I fell down that particular TikTok hole. And I'm not ashamed of that, because it is so good. It feels so good. And let me tell you something, I don't think I've ever previously, before this month, done more than 10 minutes on the Stairmaster. And in that 10 minutes, your girl was fighting for her life, struggling, heavy breathing, like, you know the breathing what you do and you're at like a public gym, so you try to seem like you're not struggling as hard as you're struggling, that shit. Walk in the park now. I mean, it's not a walk in the park, but there's like a hurdle. I was talking about this with a friend the other day. There's like a 20-minute, once you get past the 20 minutes of whatever fucking cardio you're doing, whether you're doing Stairmaster, whether you're doing treadmill up on the incline, when you get past 20 minutes, that's when the endorphins kick in. That's when you're like, okay, it's when your brain and your body are like, oh, we're actually committed, we're actually doing this thing, I guess we will give you what you need. And that's the thing, that's what I was talking about. That is how your body starts feeding you more energy, because it's like, oh, we're not actually messing about. She's gonna require us to deliver on the energy front. She's doing things now. It's no more swamp mode, rotting on the couch quite as frequently. So we best get our shit together. Which is to say, if you've been feeling tired, do something. Stellar advice, I know. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is this hat that I bought for $5 Australian, which is really excellent. Okay, let me walk you through this. Is it plastic? Yeah. Is it the coolest fucking thing you have ever seen? Yes. Look at the wide brim, look at the bedazzled, look at the worn. Oh my god, my eyes are so itchy. I'm obsessed. This hat is my new identity. I also thrifted this t-shirt, which I cut, and has this on the back, and this down the arm, and this down the other arm. And I'm pretty sure this t-shirt, which is from Universal Studios originally, but we will hold that against it, $2.50. I will always be a thrifty bitch at heart. Look at this little bib. Look at this little Jack. You are the light of my life, sweet Viviana. I love you, baby girl. Let's talk about 2025, because 2025, she's already doing a number. She's already doing entirely too much. She's already dragging me through my paces. It is what it is, and it is stressful. Not gonna lie, last year did a number on me, and 2025 has already possibly, potentially over-delivered on last year. And I don't know, I find it weird because, like, I guess I am a private person, even though for the last 15 years I've been sharing on the internet in some way, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, because I think it's just kind of part of what life is right now, or how I like life to be. I like sharing on the internet. I like having a place to talk about my ideas, to talk about my life, to talk about the things that I am genuinely obsessed with and interested with, and use this, like, use creating, use sharing, use my own life as a, I need to take that tag out, use my own life as a reference point, because that, like, that's the only reference point that we have. But at the same time, wait, what? This is why. Okay. At the same time, I am a very private person. I don't talk much about what's going on in my life with the people, even in my life, the people I see on a regular basis. So when it comes to what I want to share on the internet, I prefer to talk about, I guess, what I'm learning. I prefer to talk about my inner thoughts, rather than like the things that are specifically happening. And I say that to say, in the chaos that I am experiencing, I don't really want to get into the nitty-gritty with it. And I don't think I need to be able to connect and to be able to share and, like, have a really good, helpful conversation with you. Because the truth is, like, everyone is going through stuff. Everybody has their own battles. Everybody has their own things they're trying to figure out and create and learn about themselves and become. And we don't need to have a direct reference point where you and I are going through the exact same thing and that's why we see each other. We're humans and we're going through things as humans, and we're figuring them out individually, but coming and speaking together and sharing on how we're learning and how we're becoming can be really helpful. And I guess the reason that I wanted to talk about this was because one of my goals for this year, and what was one of my goals for last year that I was doing really well with and then dropped, was YouTube, like vlogging, like posting things here consistently. And the more I look at just how many fucking plates I have spinning and want to have spinning, the more obvious it becomes that I need to simplify. Things need to be so simple that they can get done, because I've tried to minimize the things that I want to do, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, because it depends on how I'm feeling on the day. It's going to be like whether I'm going to want to turn the camera on, or whether I'm going to write, or whether I'm going to want to paint, or whether I'm going to want to sit at the wheel and throw some clay. I don't want to be coming at like my creativity and my career from the lens of what I think is going to be most successful. I want to come at my life and my expression always from the lens of like, how do I express myself? How do I embody myself? How do I explore myself right now? And let me document myself in the process. Let me create something from the process of that. And maybe that's semantics, but to me it feels significant. And though I don't doubt I'd probably have a quicker route to the kinds of external success that I do desire if I was like, okay, well, I'm only gonna do YouTube for this year, or I'm only gonna write for this year, or I'm only gonna make paintings and ceramics this year. It makes sense, right? Holds up. But is it gonna happen? Do I want it to happen? Fuck no. So instead I'm gonna let myself continue to explore, continue to document in the ways that feel good and right and interesting. That's a big one. Like, I think we can have, and we can see and observe in other people, like, this has worked for them, this has been really successful for them, I should do that as well. But if it isn't fulfilling something within you, if it isn't serving some deeper purpose, some deeper aspiration to develop a certain skill in yourself, to develop a certain means of expression in yourself, then it's not gonna last. Like, you're not gonna stick to it long enough for it to actually have effect. I told myself I was gonna record, and I honestly don't think I've spoken about anything that I even wanted to speak about. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want to make more videos. I really enjoy making videos. I love like having a space to talk and document, and editing is so much fun, truly. If you've been thinking about making videos yourself, I don't know if it's a mass, but I feel like there's a lot of talk in the air about like YouTube being the place to be this year. And honestly, it's where I consume the most of the internet. I feel like you can connect with people deeper and create something that's more substantial, because you get to, it hits on quite literally more senses. So if you've been thinking about making videos, please join me and we will make videos together. I don't have a schedule, I don't have a plan, but thank you for being here. I feel like I know that I've been creating on the internet for a really long time right now, but I still feel like I'm only just getting started. And part of that is because I want my audience to be in a much bigger place, and the comparison comes in and all of that stuff. But also because I know what I want to be creating, and I know what I'm capable of creating in a really, not necessarily big, but just like deeper way. Like, I know what things I want to be putting out into the world, and I get really excited about that. I get really excited about living up to my own expectations and desires for myself. And yeah, that involves like a certain amount of, you know, audience growth and like whatever those like metrics that you will attach to it are. But it's also about like being the person who's able to consistently create. And that brings us back to like the Stairmaster thing. Like the reason I set myself the challenge of like, okay, I'm gonna do 45 minutes on the Stairmaster every day, on top of like walking Vivian, on top of Pilates, on top of weights, on top of yoga, on top of whatever else that I want to do movement wise as well. The real goal with like doing something that is hard and doing something that initially I'm like, there's no fucking way that is possible, is because like, dude, a week in, I've already proved to myself it's so much easier than I ever thought it was going to be. And isn't that like the point of it all? Like, we do these things because we have these ideas in our minds of what they're gonna be or what we could become with them, but then we hold ourselves back from taking real consistent action with it because we're like, nah, that's too hard, I can't maintain that, I can't keep that up. We can prove to ourselves so easily that we can be consistent. This is why I love doing my own creatrix challenge, because day in, day out, I prove to myself that I can show up for my own goals and my own desires, that I can tell myself I want to do something, and I can give myself that confidence, that proof, that evidence that day in, day out, yeah, there's going to be some bumps in the roads, but most of it, I am going to show up for myself. I am going to do the work, do what is required to live the kind of life that I want to live. And that isn't about like doing things now to get to a future version of myself, but actually like that energy that comes from working out, that energy that comes from creating, we benefit from it on the day, like in the day-to-day, in the now. I fear I've lost my train of thought again. So what I'm gonna say is I'm really excited to be making videos. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to be taking the challenges that life is fucking throwing at me. And if life is throwing the challenges at you, then please see them as opportunities. Where I wrote this down. I was watching Albert Camus videos on YouTube yesterday because that is the state of things. There was this quote, and I feel like I've lost the context for it, but I was watching a video and it was about Albert Camus, who talks a lot about what can be, I guess, like nihilist philosophical beliefs of like life is meaningless, life is absurd, there's no meaning, and therefore we get to create and derive our own meaning in any way that we want to do. Because if everything doesn't make sense, then doesn't it then make sense that you get to put purpose, put onus, put your focus on the things that, even if it has no meaning at the end of your life, this is fucking dark, but I actually really love reading and studying this stuff because it's what I think about a lot. Yeah, so if there's no meaning inherently, we have ultimate freedom to create our own meaning, and we don't have to be working towards this finite point, this finite destination, hoping that we get a gold star, hoping that we achieve a certain specific thing, and that means we've done a good job. But actually the action, the lived experience of our life can be where the juice is, and it's always going to be where the juice is. And yeah, Albert Camus was talking about how life is suffering, and there's always going to be something new to figure out, and a different challenge, and something that we're facing, and it's always in our perspective, it's always in our mindset and how we approach things, that we can create heaven on earth or we can create hell on earth for ourselves. And because there is always something to figure out, we get to choose to approach it. And Albert Camus was talking about this concept, and this line just like, oh, hit me. We get to create, we get to attach ourselves to a lucid inspiration to live and create in the desert. If you feel like you are in the desert, if you feel like life is chaotic as fuck right now, if you feel like you're in the struggle, if you feel like you don't know what to do, even in that desert, that can be the perfect place, the perfect foundation, the perfect opportunity to live an inspired life, to have this lucid inspiration to live and create from exactly where you are. And I wrote a ton about that in my morning pages because I'm doing the artist way again. And I think I spoke about this video, maybe, I have no idea, because I've just been randomly filming things, and I'm hoping that it comes together in post. But that, again, that comes down to making things easy, making things accessible, making things possible to be consistent with. It doesn't have to be perfect every time. It doesn't have to be this overly thought out, process produced thing. We're creating as we're going. We're creating from our actual lives and our experiences. And I hope you join me. I hope you're making things as well. I hope you're creating things. And if you're not, I hope that this video has given you even a little tidbit in the direction of feeling that lucid inspiration, of feeling aware that you get to create anything you want. Whether that's with your whole entire life or whether that's with 10 minutes that you have this afternoon to sit down with your sketchbook, you get to create. Thanks for hanging out with me. If all goes to plan, I'll be seeing you here regularly, so bye.